And why is that not showing up? There we go. There we go. OBS taking its fair time. Hello everybody, sorry for the slightly late start. I just had a mod break on me while I was trying to fix something, so I just had to sort that out quickly, but it's all ready now. How are we all doing? The monster is here, Kyrie is here, Berenson is here as well. Thank you for the Uteraptor box. Rob Earth, I think, is also here in King Giga. I'm going to let some people... Glitches FGM mods, I didn't particularly like the Megalosaurus one, so I fixed it with a backup I made back in 2022, but that broke the game. So I had to verify the game files, which, you know, returns those FGM affected files back to normal. So I just had to quickly reinstall all of them. So, while you have been away, I have done some homework on the park. So you can see down here that the entrance area is now pretty much fully decorated. I went with, you know, just some light sort of decorative work here. I've discovered that I'm especially liking using things like these plant pots around stuff, just for, just to create some nice little planted areas. I was stuck for a while about what to put in this gap, but I went with the Jurassic Park sign because I thought that was a good touch. And we got some benches around it for seating. For the sides, I went with a sort of mirrored, just a few seating areas, some fountains, and some shaded benches. We've got a couple of planted areas with statues, Suchomimus there and some Parasaurolophus there, as well as some planted hedgerows. And then down here we have Brachiosaurus overlooking the first exhibit area. Now, last time, you might remember, I went with a fully mesh fenced surrounding. Off stream, I did some different work, and I thought that combining the mesh with the sandstone walls created a nicer effect. So on this side we have benches overlooking where the mesh is, so people can, you know, see the animals inside. But then over here we have it covered, and then at the front we have a little rockery with some, again, the plant pots, just to create a nice feature. And along the back side we have things all ready to go. So again, rockery at the front, we've got some covered space for the animals we put in there, fountains in the water. And yes, I also put in a lagoon here, which I'm hoping we'll get to in this stream, since all that we're going to do first is design this other half of the exhibit. So What I want is a small animal and an idea for what sort of biome or what sort of exhibit we can do for it. And by small, I mean very small. We've got oviraptors already. That gives you a good indication of the sort of size of animal that I think. Sinosauropteryx could be a good choice. I don't think I've used Sinosauropteryx in any park ever. Yeah, no, I don't think I have. I don't think I've used it at all yet. So that might be a good bet. Lystrosaurus. Yeah, we could also do Lystro. But I think Sinosauropteryx is also a... Because Sinosauropteryx is a carnivore, right? Oh, the Diploculus from the amphibian mod. The amphibians, I want to do like a proper amphibian sort of area. I was thinking about having like an amphibious zone up here, or doing an amphibious area of the park specifically. So yeah, I was thinking about sort of turning this end of the park into like a swampy area and doing an amphibious zone deliberately. So Homalocephaly we could do. How big is Homalocephaly? Yeah, Homalocephaly wouldn't be too big, but it is another herbivore. We've already got Oviraptor, so I'm thinking it would be good to at least have a carnivore here. Coelophysis is just a little too big, I think. Compies we could obviously do, but compies are a bit boring. Megalania has a giant lizard. Don't know. Might be a little unsafe considering how low those walls are. I don't know though. Giganto. Segisaurus. Let's have a look. Segi. Yes, Segi is not a bad choice. Or the other one was Sinosauropteryx. Let's have a look. Sino. You know, I think just because I haven't used it before and because they are kind of cute, we'll go for the Sinosauropteryx. What sort of, like, environment shall we do their enclosure in? Mosasaurus. Into here, a land enclosure, King Giga? I don't think that quite works. Megalania would be too dangerous. Yeah, I think that. I think Megalania needs, like, a proper enclosure. I think these mesh fences would not stop a Megalania. An autumnal sort of forest. We could try and do something a bit more wooded, that's for sure. Let's see. Well, I don't have cherry blossoms, Berenson. So let's go for... See, one of the problems of doing a forest sort of enclosure is... Obviously, I want people to be able to see what's in here. So let's... You You know, instead of a forest, I'm going to modify the idea and we're going to do like an orchard instead. So let's go for like 1, 2, and then let's have like 3, and then let's have like some proper green ones. 4, 5, and then let's do another one. So 1, 2, 3, and then let's grab an orange one. 4, 5, and then let's do something similar over here. So let's go 1, and then 2, and 3, 4. And let's have like 5, and then do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have like a kind of an orchard sort of setup. We'll put in some dirt down here, not too intense. Let's make it look like there's a thoroughfare. We'll put some grass in the middle. And just around the outsides a little. I have plenty of flowers. Because you want to get those pollinators in. And then we're going to have like a couple of rocks in the middle. We'll put like a few rocks around the sort of orchards. Like thus. You killed the adult ghost leviathan in northern blood kelp zone. A garden overrun by Drysaurus. Certainly something I can put in a future area of the park. Let's have a couple of big bushes here and a couple of... I want some different types of tree in here. Let's have a couple of spruces. And then let's also have some big weeds sort of things. Yeah, that's okay. I do kind of want to put in just a couple of... I want something in between some of these tree sizes. I do often think that when it comes to trees, you don't get a lot of option in this game. It's either like super huge or super tiny. There's nothing really in between. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Kind of a little orchard for Sinosauropteryx. Now, Sinosauropteryx is a carnivore, so we better put the carnivore feeder in here, and I am going to put it at the back end. This is because we want to hide it from view, so the Sinosauropteryx don't feel uncomfortable when they're eating. We don't want really kids to be seeing meat being shredded. It's just not a good look. And it also stimulates the Sinosauropteryx to sort of move around. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Anything else I want to do to this? Um, no, I'm happy with that. Right, let's go and get some. Let's go get some skins for our Sinosauropteryxes. Sinosauropteryxes? Don't know what the plural of that would be. Actually, they look a bit like lemurs, don't they? So what's the collective noun for a group of lemurs? Someone look it up and put it in chat. Sinosauropteryx. Trash pandas. That's raccoons. There's a pattern that looks like a ringtail lemur. I think you mean, is it... That's a bit light. Ringtail lemurs are kind of a dark grey, right? So... that's probably as dark as we're going to get. And isn't it... They're white striped, aren't they? It's been a long time. Is it something like that or like that? Are we gonna... A group of lemurs is called a conspiracy. I love it. A conspiracy of Sinosauropteryx. Okay. So, are we... let's have male and females again. I'll be honest, I kind of want something a little bit, something with a bit more colour to it, to match the sort of those autumnal trees you went with. I want something that's a little colourful. Maybe like a red squirrel, because that's... I really love that deep red. And then we can... Because one of the things I do have to say about Sinosauropteryx, I think they did a really bad job on the colours for the patterns. Because you either have white, less white, less black, black, less black, less white. You don't really have many colours here. So for them to show up, we do kind of have to go for like the most, like, basically black or white. That's all we're gonna have. Black or white. So I really like the white pattern on the red. I think that looks quite good as well. The black on the mangrove forest. What other colours have we got? We've also got like that... See, we've got two orange. We've got kind of like three oranges that would work really well together if we had orange, reddish orange. See, that also works. Okay. I've made a decision. We're going to go with orange. But where do we... So either Salar del Huasco or Gambia for the male. So do we want the male to be like really sort of vibrant reddish, or do we want the male to be something closer to a red panda orange? What do people think? Because one of those two will be the male, and whichever one it is will determine the female. So sort of a red wine blood red, or more of a red panda sort of fox red. Orange, even. What do people think? We could have both. The only reason I would say not to having both is because It just makes things a little complicated for the female skin. So Berenson says the lighter orange for the male. And I think we should give it... I think we should give it the white stripes. So, Salar del Huasco and Rana. And then the female will be Sonoran Desert. And we still want some pattern, but it just needs to be a lighter sort of pattern. So I'm thinking something like that, where you have just a light pattern to it, so Calcarana. Sonoran Desert and Calcarana. Right, let's get back into the game. Hopefully, we shouldn't have any problems. You've successfully entered the Lost River. Yeah, I've kind of got to go that way in Subnautica. Like for my current playthrough of Subnautica, we have to kind of go and explore the Koosh zone and the Aora, which is what I put there. By the way, so this week obviously we're doing Jurassic World instead of Subnautica. Next week or next stream will be Subnautica, since that got the lower votes today. So you still call the bulb zone the Koosh zone? Well, yeah, because that's what it was always known as back in early access. It was always Koosh. Okay, so Sinosauropteryx. Salar del Huasco and Rana is the fucking base pattern. Motherfucker. Excuse my French, but I'm a bit like Evo in that regard. It's like, oh, it's the base pattern. Rana. Hello, Joshua. Right, let's go with... I think, considering we're playing these off as like lemurs, I think we can go for like a 1-to-1 on the male and females. So let's go with 3 male and 3 female. And let's get them inside their enclosure. And then what we'll do after that is we'll think about how the outside of this lake area is going to look, and then we'll discuss the lagoon. Hello, Catherine. Welcome to the stream. Come on, there must be a space just with this last one. There we go. But yeah, I'm really happy with how these two areas turned out. I think the mix of mesh fence and non-mesh fence really helps. Yeah, I hate the fact that you have to use a supersized vehicle to transport some of these things. Like, seriously, you can shove it in a cat container and just lob it over the fence. yeah, I think our little sort of orchard, Sinosauropteryx orchard, works quite nicely. If you ignore the fact that, you know, they're carnivorous. Honestly, for Jurassic World Evolution 3, we really need to find a new way of making the feeders or look like feeders. Because when you see an animal the size of that next to a feeder the size of this, you can't help but kind of question the way it looks. Are you stuck? You better not be. I mean, it would just be better if we had, like, little insect feeder or something for them. Anyway, there's our Sinosauropteryx lemur squirrels in our enclosure. So, I agree, the monster. Thank you. So, the inside of this lake will obviously be decorated. We'll have rocks, some fountains, some more statues, I think, in there. This side will obviously be planted forest and ginkgo. Now, I was thinking of having amenities here and maybe one here, because that's quite a big gap there. I'm thinking maybe we should put down like a proper attraction here. Where's the attraction building? Because an attraction building would fit here. So we could have, you know, I'm thinking maybe a lab tour here or a fossil zone or something. Because there's a pretty big gap there. How about that spot we can make like a park or a botanical garden? You know, I like that. We'll go with that. We'll make that a botanical garden, like a botanical garden or something. So if I just lay out, so this area here will be a garden. Or a greenhouse or something like that. Because I do quite like using the Jurassic World aviary buildings as like a greenhouse. You just, you know, can't get people inside looking at them. But we can see what we can do. Let's make this not too rocky, just a little bit rocky. There we go. So, amenities over here then. I think we'll go with our first food one. Let's create... I think we're going to use this tile color for things like guest areas. We'll have like a little hedgerow in there. In fact, we'll continue like the hedgerow thing. Why is that not straight? Thank you. Yeah. You just had to have some heated discussions on Discord. I hope about nothing bad, dude. Okay, so why is that not flat? First of all. Ah, what was that? Oh, right. Yes, I remember now. Right, yeah, let's just sort out the slope here. Right. So we'll have one amenity. I think we will squeeze it in here. We'll have a couple next to it. So we'll have one there. Right. Colour time. Let's get rid of that thatch roof so we can see the colours. What do people think for colour? Blue. Blue for the main colour? Maybe a midway blue? Okay, let's have a light blue matched with a sort of... Cyan I'm actually already using on Hell's Aquarium, which I've gotten to the point where it's working again, thank God. Maybe kind of a blue and mauve? Or purple? Blue and yellow, blue and... What about blue and red? It's a bit English though, isn't it? Blue and green. No, we'll go with white. I think the blue and white looks fine. For the roof, all roofs are green because they're moss roofs. Decorative element will do the same blue, and lighting will have as orange. We'll save those as default. Right, I want to have one next to it. Yeah, I know, outside buildable area, but that's fine because we can counteract that. Right, let's do we'll have this entrance here. And outside, I think we'll go with... Oh no, we'll leave the outside because we need to put this one in. So let's combine that. Again, get rid of the thatch. I have that entrance on this side. This is coffee shop, isn't it? Right. So we need something like that. Again, we'll go with the same roof decorations. Little shrubs. We'll go with the little shrubs, because that worked. And then for this one, we'll give it the low health. Really? What's dying now? Now I think that looks good with them both like that. Alright, what's wrong? Sinosauropteryx has got stuck laying down. Dear me, problems already. Well, there will always be people who make stupid statements, Rob. You just have to roll with it at times. You have no idea how much I sit here doing Evo's moderation and I look at the responses to some things in chat and I'm like, you utter idiots. I'm getting that a lot, actually, with all the discussion about the new film. There are a lot of people with their opinions, and I'm like, you're an idiot. But you have to be accepting of other people's opinions, even if you think they're moronic. Gift shop. We'll make the gift shop really big. And put it kind of there. Okay, so let's continue this. Out, and then let's continue this out. That to there. And then we'll cut sort of there. It has just occurred that we need a bathroom here somewhere. Three? What the hell is going on here? Water. There's water right there. Why aren't you guys drinking? What is it doing? Why isn't it going to the water? Are you telling me this patch of water is not enough for them? Why aren't they drinking? Oh, you fucking kidding me? They won't drink from this water. They will only drink from it here. What? So here we've got these guys that are happy enough with this. But they won't drink from this? That's so moronic. That amount of water would be fine for any other animal. Oh, that's just stupid. That's just utterly stupid. See, this is why I think we need specific, like, water feeders. Like, 2 of them have just died from an apparent lack of water. Three of them are going to die from a lack of food and water. What? They had food. What the hell is wrong with you? Sinosauropteryx 3 and 4, 2, 6, and 5. So we lost 2 males and 1 female? Can someone explain to me how Listro and Oviraptor works fine, but a fucking the fucking Sinosauropteryx doesn't? But didn't Evo have this problem? She had it with, I think it was her Malicephaly, right? They would not drink unless it was a certain size amount of water. Well, okay then. I suppose this water here is just decorative. You know, ever since they did that adjustment where dinosaurs would not be able to walk through water, some of these, I've noticed that these animals get stuck so much more often, and you get so many more problems with them. Eesh. Silly little things like that. But yeah, as I was saying, like, I think that's one of the things we need for Jurassic World Evolution 3, if a 3 is coming. Like, it would be nice to have the ability to put down water troughs or, like, water bowls. Especially for the smaller animals. Because I feel that's more realistic. Like, to give them something specific to drink from. Instead of having to rely on putting down water, which half the time never bloody works. Boy racers are out and about in their cars today. Now we'll hide the back with bushes and things like I normally do. That toilet block is way off being perfectly centered. So let's see if we can get it corrected. Seriously, I feel like most of us who play the game hardcore, I feel like most of us spend half our time trying to get buildings and stuff to fit correctly because of the awkwardness of the building system in this game. And I know that I've become kind of famous on Reddit and among Evo's moderators for being like, it's a dinosaur building game, or it's a park building game. But there are times where I feel like this is more of a dinosaur combat game with park building attached as an afterthought. Because sometimes you really do wonder why basic elements are so difficult to achieve. Right, that will be a planter. That will be planted. This will be planted. This will also be planted. And then I feel like around the outside... Where are the big bushes? Thank you. I don't know what that was about. I think that was just the controller I use for my Formula 1 games. Bugging out. There we go. Lovely. Sorry, I'm not keeping a good eye on chat. Let me just catch up. Don't get me started on a massive disease outbreak that was caused by my compies. Ever since then, I've disliked compy and JWE and everything about it. Well, yeah, Kairu, when the game first came out, I remember the first sandstorm I had on, I think it was San Diego, gave absolutely all of my animals tuberculosis. I was like, what the hell? It's a tuberculosis storm, not a sandstorm. I'm just gonna lay down where I'm putting rocks just for the planters, and then I think what we'll do as a decoration is I think we'll have a set of flagpoles. I think we'll have them this way around. So one at that end, one at that end, and then I think in the middle we'll have some nice flaming obelisks. There'll be plants all around these. And then we'll do a thing here. So 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm. 4. We'll leave that gap there. We'll leave a gap there. And do like 1. And 2. Don't worry, I'll be careful not to cause fire hazards. Yeah, and then, you know, people can go in there, people can go into there, people can go in through there or through the sides. You know, plenty of spaces. We can turn this into plaza with seating, fountains. We can maybe put like a few benches or seating area along this front section. Yeah, and then here we'll have the botanical garden bit, or have a... Let's have a look, actually. Can we put... We could put a greenhouse in here. But we don't really have any sort of gate structure or anything, do we? Nothing that really works as a pretend greenhouse. Let's see what happens if I put one in. Okay. And then how can we make it look like this is a greenhouse? let's kind of take it off the path, and then there, and then let's just zoom in a little bit. And then we'll have it come out here. Okay, so how can we hide that and make it look like it's got an entrance to a greenhouse there? I feel like this mesh... Evo does the thing with the wall sections, doesn't she? She like puts like a wall section up. Try the emergency shelter decoration. That's a good idea, but I think it's a bit big. Oh, you know what? Actually, if I place one there and one... You know, that would work. And we could always disguise it a little bit further. That's a good good idea, Kairu. Thank you. Well done. Bang on there. You know, that works. I could definitely need to move this one out a little. Move this one in a little. Also, you know, that's fine. That's fine. There are tolerances here. And then we could still do something with like the mural walls. Maybe have like a... maybe... You know, have one there. And have one there. And then we can put planters and stuff around that. We'll cover sort of... we'll cover off this area with like planters, raised planters. We'll put plenty of bushes down and such. Same with over here. And then we can make the area look like a proper sort of botanical garden. I'll do a lot of that off screen, obviously, because it's probably going to take probably a good hour or so. But yeah, I think that'll work. And then inside, I'll decorate it with lots of placed vegetation, fountains, statues, that sort of thing. So we've got like a little greenhouse sculpture nearby to the lagoon. I've already started doing the decorative work around some of the lagoon area, as you can see. Now, this lagoon is not going to have a viewing gallery or viewing dome. People are just going to view it from the promenades. So, what sort of environment should we put inside the lagoon? What sort of biome? And I want something different. So don't just say, oh, use volcanic or do coral reef. Give me Give me something different, something more unique. I'm going to pop in the decorations that were over here, while you guys think of some ideas. A tunnel system with the viewing log and the normal underwater dome. You know, if I hadn't already put in these, I probably would have considered that, actually. That's a really good idea. A sunken ship graveyard. A freshwater style lagoon with logs and plant material all over the place. I do love the idea of trying to do like some sort of tunnel between the two promenades. You know what? Let me finish this, and then I'm going to see how difficult it would be. Okay, so there's the log. Let's just sort of guesstimate it. So we'd need at least 2. How tall would they have to be to reasonably fit onto that? Ah, that's a bit annoying. They're just a little too high. How about a dark lagoon lighted up by red lights? Nah, the connection with the underwater dome. 2 of them and in the middle. Oh, I see what you mean. The thing is, I don't really have anywhere to place the entrances for the domes. I get you. Can I delete this, please? So you're saying put in how big is one dome? I just think this lagoon is a bit small for 2 domes and a log. Yeah, I think if I was going to have a bigger dome, a bigger lagoon, then I could definitely do something like that. But for this lagoon, I just think it's a bit small. Because with 2, if I put 2 domes in, and then a log as well, like, obviously this is just a very rough attempt. You know, wow, yeah. And then, yeah, I think not for this particular one. But I will remember that for when we do a bigger lagoon. because I do like to have at least a couple of lagoons in a park, especially down here. I think when we do a bigger lagoon, we will definitely do that. For this one, we'll go with something a little more simple. Someone did suggest a sunken ship. If this is going to be freshwater themed, what do you have in mind for species? Species doesn't really matter for fresh or saltwater. The thing is, we just don't know for many prehistoric marine reptiles whether they were that specific or not. But yeah, I definitely like the idea of having like a ship graveyard or something in here. So I do like this. I just wish the rigging wasn't so complete. I wish there was like a version without the rigging, because otherwise I'd have to have it upside down. Can I zoom underwater so I can see how low this has got to go? Oh. I mean, it looks a little bizarre having the rigging up. Maybe if you have it a little leant over, so it looks kind of half sunk, we can put some rocks and stuff under. Oops. Let's just move it a little more. You know, I think we'll have the ship at like this end. Should we have it where people can see it? Let's have it where people can see it. Plus, let's have it like sort of there. Okay, let's put down some... This is one of the other things we need for lagoons in the next game. It's like some proper, like, undersea rock formations. Like, I know I could do it with the land rocks, but that would just take forever. Let's have like some coral there and there. And let's have some... Let's have like a bubble trap one there. And... I just want some patchy coral. One that's slightly bigger than that. Thank you. There, maybe a little one there. Maybe another couple medium-sized ones here and here. Let's have some bigger coral patches under where the ship is to make it look like it's sort of growing coral. Naturally, I think we're going to have some kelp in here. Ah, yes. So, actually, that's something I forgot to tell you guys about. So I was able to figure out what was causing the problems with Hell's Aquarium. and it turns out it's Max Veers's placeable coral, a placeable kelp. Unfortunately, there is kind of a limit to how much kelp you can put down before you start running into performance degradation. Too much kelp in an area will cause you to start suffering from slowdowns. So do take that in mind if you are using his kelp mod. Do be careful how much you're putting down, because you will start seeing performance drops if you put too much down, which is a bit of a disappointment, I admit. I do want to put one more patch of kelp down sort of here. And maybe one more there. I think what causes the slowdown is that is all the vertices in the area, but also the amount of extra fish it has to spawn in, which I think is the main problem with it. Can you put some ambers around it as a treasure? It glows. What ambers? I'm going to place down sort of like a... sort of a corally sort of rock wall area. Can I be allowed to leave my lagoon? Jesus. These certainly create a lot of fish around them. Was the issue from the last stream fixed? For the Hell's Aquarium map, well, it's not necessarily fixed, but I do know what's causing it. Let's put it like that. And in fact, I can kind of show you guys what happens. So... there is your lagoon piece. Your FPS when moving over it is fine. Okay? Put down 3 big clumps. Your FPS when moving over it is fine. Put down 9, and you can see you get the stuttering starts. Put down like a lot more, and you can see there how much the frame rate has now just dropped. It's all about how much you have in a set area. because I think it's about the number of vertices that it has to then create. See, with the amount of cat we got in this one, we're fine. But yeah, it's definitely worth taking note of that. But you know, I think this looks alright. You know, sunken ship, little coral cave area. I think this is pretty decent. The amber plant. Oh, the amber planters. Yeah, we could try and sink some down. The only problem with doing something like this is you can never see where the bloody things are going to end up. I think this sort of one. Let's try doing it with two of them to begin with. You know, if they were slightly further forwards, and let's try that. Nope, needs to be a little bit more. It's so hard to gauge distance when you're looking at it like that. It needs to be closer to the bloody boat. I'm just trying to cover up the really horrible, obvious covering. Am I actually getting it closer to this ship or what? It's almost impossible to cover up the horrible covering. Yeah. I don't know about this. It's also adding in extra decoration for no purpose, whereas I feel we could pull off something similar with just putting down some of the conventional decorations we already have. Like if we want glowing bits. Yeah, no, Rob, I love the idea. It's just hiding the like horrible planter exteriors is quite tricky. Now what I would love to do is if we can put like one inside where that cabin is, and we can try and make it look like there's lights still on in the cabin. That's just... I mean, it needs to be directional, I think. You see what I mean? Just trying to get that in there. And that in there. And then if we switch those colors, Oh, that's better. Makes it look like there's lights on the inside. And then if we do like a green for this light and that light. And then at the front here, we'll go for sort of corally colours. Maybe a red here. Yeah, I think that works. Right. We need an animal for our glorious lagoon here. Whatever we pick has got to be able to eat fish, okay? Because we don't have a shark feeder, so it's got to be a fish eater. I think Stixo is a great idea, Niram, because we can give it lux patterns. Let's see. Shawnee is too big. I think kind of the Dunkleosteus is too big as well. Stixo might just be small enough. But Plesiosaurus would work. And obviously Tencanthus would also work. I would like to put a few Tencanthus in there. Not too many, but a few. Let's do Stixo. I feel like I don't use Stixo enough. And I don't think people use Stixo a lot in general. So same thing again. We'll do male and female skins. Given that the lagoon is not going to be huge, and we're also going to have Tencanthus in here, I think we're going to have a single mating pair of Stixo. So I suppose the first thing to do is to decide on the so I'm assuming the male is going to be the decorative one with the lux pattern. So are we going to have blue, yellow, or green? Kairu likes the green. Berenson likes the blue. I think the yellow doesn't show up very nicely sometimes. I definitely think the blue and the greens are the best. A golden lux, so we can imagine it protects the gold and eats it. And that's a lovely idea. It's just a shame that the yellow doesn't really ever show up very well. It's definitely not working correctly, I think. Whereas the blue, you can see, is blues are vivid all over, but the yellow one just doesn't. I do like the idea of it, though, being protecting the gold. But we'll go with the green. So let's see what main body color goes with this. Let's see. I quite like the Gambia River Basin. I think that looks quite nice. I don't know if Evo has lore behind the Ark Park, to be honest. I don't know if that's something she has done. Or that she does do, actually. I'm not sure. Yeah, I would have to ask her. I think that looks quite good. So we can have like that as the male, and then we can use like Amazon rainforest for the female, or have it the other way around. Have Amazon rainforest as the male, and then have Svalbard for the female. Let's do that. So Amazon rainforest and oh, you know what? I'm going to change it last minute. We are going to do the gold because I think that looks better in the daytime. And then the female we're going to have as Svalbard. We'll still give the female a pattern. We'll do Svalbard with lithobates. Right, 10 canthus is going to be one skin only. And we're just going to have some as like a background animal. So let's go with... Let's have a look at main body colours here. I quite like the pink. I quite like the pink with the white spots. I think that will show up well against the blue. See what the other colours... Yeah, I think the pink with the white spots. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm sorry there wasn't a video for this week. On Monday, my breathing started to get very, very bad. So I had to pop off to my doctor where it appears that my... So when I was a kid, a lot younger, about 10, 12 years old, I had really bad asthma, which was usually a side effect of like hay fever, but could also occur through other things. But it disappeared for years when I grew up to be like a teenager and early adult. And then on Monday, it just all decided to come back really horrifically. So all week I've been taking it easy and puffing inhalers. And yeah, that's why I wasn't able to put out a video this week, because I literally didn't have the breath to do it. Luckily, this morning, I've woken up and, you know, I've actually got some breath in me. But it's definitely not been a good couple of weeks for my breathing. Let's put it like that. Why would you do that? I really despise the terrain system in this game. Wrong one. Thank you. Oops. Let's give us extra base space. You've always wondered what it would feel like to be different animals. It's an interesting question. Amazon rainforest and Papyrona. Svalbard with lithobates. And 10 canthus. Mangrove forest and Rana. And we'll have 1, 2, 3. 4. We'll have 4. So there's 1 Styxosaurus. Yeah, disappears and then reappears and... Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but hopefully I'm going off to have some tests. Hopefully soon. And they're gonna check my lungs out and stuff and make sure things are all okay and working as intended. Now, I assume that they will swim through the boat because, yes, the boat doesn't have a collision, but I'm sure we'll get some nice screenshots. How many do these tencanthus want? A population of more than 2. And they're panicking. What are they panicking about? See, I don't get this. Like, Ichthyosaurus panics with all of these smaller species of plesiosaur. And I just don't think it suits the... You know, the ichthyosaurs are supposed to live alongside them, for God's sake. There is our female. There is our male. Looking good. Getting tangled in the rigging. I think they work well. Let's have a look at it from the... Yeah. I think we've created a pretty decent enclosure there, actually. Not too overflowing with species, which is good. I do think people tend to do that with the lagoons. They put way too many animals in them. And it just makes them look a bit crowded. I think this has turned out all right. Oh, we've got people coming in now. How are our Sinosauropteryx doing? Well, they're all alive, at least. Oh, Oviraptors are still all right. Can we call the Styxos Elizabeth and Philip? Good enough. Philip. And I'm not going to put Elizabeth. I'm just going to put Lizzie. Can I shorten it? Elizabeth and Lizzie. Philip and Lizzie even. Oh, we didn't decorate this. I'll make it a bookshop. Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, these guys are going from one entrance to another. Let's put in the rest of the foliage over here. Yeah, I think that's decent. Right, I feel like we need to sort of figure out the rest of the park before we start massively building more. I wanted to make use of this area up here. I did think about an amphibious enclosure, but I quite like to have all the amphibious stuff together. So I'm thinking we could just use this for something to do with the guests, because it has quite a nice overlook. So I'm thinking it's going to be the perfect sort of place to have like a viewing platform or something. So let's just have like a G for guest here. And I think if we have like a couple of towers that overlook the sort of the whole park from there and there. This bit down here, so sort of here, I want to be kind of a swamp, so this is where we'll have our amphibious animals, but maybe a couple of dinosaurs like Barry, something like that. I want there to be sort of like a forested path to get to the swamp, so that we kind of have like a division between the park and the swamp bit. And then obviously down here is just going to be, I would assume, we'll have probably maybe 1 or 2 big lagoons. It's going to be tricky because it's not flat. But maybe have... Oh wow, it's really not flat. Okay. Oh wow, and there's a huge amount of curve down to the front. This is going to be tricky to figure out down here. Lore for the lagoon. It was the ship that was transporting royals. It sunk, but the royals were rebirthed or cursed, whichever to be Styxos, and the crew are the Tencanthus. I actually really like that. I quite like that idea. It be a cursed ship. Oh shit, wrong one. We'll have like a sort of raised area for a lagoon up there. I actually think we'll cut this down a bit. Something like that. So we have kind of a couple of raised areas and then a couple of sunken areas. So there's an upper section and then we'll have a lower section. I definitely think I'm going to put some waterfalls in here. And we'll have... I might try and do like a hyperlink station or something to join the two levels together. Random patch of water here. I feel like this top area is going to be a bit boring if we don't do something substantial with the environmentals. So let's put in a bit of an artificial rocky mountain here. Too many. Obviously, I need to put a few orange trees in there just to match like the other areas of the park, but you know, I think that works. Ooh, chat's just given me an idea. Let's put where is it? Where's that? Where would it be visible? Here, maybe? Want somewhere maybe a bit flatter? Okay, let's try and let's make some slightly flatter area. Maybe one there, and maybe have something here. A good old castle on a hill. Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking place some like old turrets and towers up on top of this hill. We'll put some like trees around them. We can kind of make it look like we've got some little Hogwartses on our hills. Maybe put a couple of old put like some other towers on there. Maybe have like a couple here and there. We'll bury them in, obviously, with like trees and stuff. And bushes and stuff around them, but then we've got some like, there's some artistic, you know, nicety. Yeah, we'll put in some like with some floodlights. In, so I have like one up there and one there. And one in there. Yeah, and we got like something for them to sort of come round and see. A Dracula Mountain with Thanatos Dracon. I could definitely try to make like a bit of an aviary bit, sort of. That's like kind of attached to the mountain. Maybe probably on this side in this depression here. And we can have like a Thanatos Dracon bit. It'd be quite good to have one of the, you know, big Jurassic buildings. I quite like combining them. So you have like one, and then you have another one kind of semi-attached. So that way, technically, both the front and back of the building have the like fountains. Maybe not there, but maybe here. It kind of, I suppose, it makes sense to have it here, doesn't it? Because then we can have like access to the. Well, no, because then it would block the overlook. Maybe here in this weird little cutout. Maybe have one there. And then have one there. And then this cutout can be an enclosure. So let's do a different color. So we can have like a bit of path where you come out of one of these buildings, and that's the only way to see this enclosure here, because then the rest is like concreted fencing, which you won't be able to see. So I mean, I might have to shift them up a bit, but like, so that's an enclosure here. And then we were going to have like an aviary or something here, weren't we? So aviary there. We've got our swamp there. I'm thinking maybe we could do like put a wall across here, and then put like another wall across here, and this could be a tour in here. And just connect it like station. We're gonna do like waterfalls here, aren't we? So big W's for waterfall. And then here we're gonna have a lagoon here. A lagoon here. And yeah, maybe one more or something down here, maybe a Spino exhibit or something. Oh, and then obviously we're going to have like I'm thinking of trying to see if I can. I mean, it's a bit dangerous, and you would never do this in a real park. But like, have some hotels that are like hanging over the edge. or something similar, just like have them hanging over, or maybe do the same with some of the other hotels. Just have them have like, I want the swimming pool bit to be overlooking that drop or something. Fletcher's casually building while we are writing the whole lore of the park. It's alright. I love the idea of the parks having lore. I mean, that's what I did for my my San Diego Lagoon Park. You know, the lore was that there was like an old section of park, and there was the newer build of the park. So I love the idea of parks having a story behind them, and I think it helps you design them as well. Right, I'm going to save. I shall show you quickly, because obviously next stream will be Subnautica, but the stream after that will be Jurassic World again, but it won't be Europe. We're going to go back to Hell's Aquarium. So I'm just going to show you what Hell's Aquarium V2 now looks like, because there has been some changes. One or two. So instead of trying to fix old Hell's Aquarium, I've decided to basically rebuild it. So this is Hell's Aquarium V2. So it's relatively similar to the first attempt, although we do now have a bit of a garden area here, which I built yesterday while Evo was streaming, and I thought was particularly good. I particularly like my little flag stand here. But yeah, it's mostly the same, apart from the fact you can see that even with adjusting the amount of kelp I'm putting down, I still get a little bit of slowdown. It's not as bad as it was, but still a little bit. But what I've decided to do is we're going to separate it into more zones than we had last time. So we're going to have... So this is the extent of the kelp zone. It's a lot smaller than last time. And then we're going to have the coral reef zone over here. We're going to have still the sunken ship zone and the thermal zones. And then I wanted to do one zone was going to be like for a sunken park zone. So we're going to sink some buildings down. Probably the sunken park is probably going to go here. Because this bit here, where we get the massive drop-off, I'm thinking about making the thermal zone. So how like in Subnautica, the deeper you get, the more thermal stuff you get. So I'll probably have the sunken park zone around here somewhere. And then the coral, the kelp, the sunken ship zone, and then the thermal zone. But yes, so the next Jurassic World stream will be back on here. And we'll probably be focusing on building this exhibit over here, which I wanted to be... Try to make like an indoor exhibit area. And yeah, and yeah, it's pretty much back ready to go. But yeah, I think we got quite a lot of work done. You know, the Sinosauropteryx orchards, the I'm just going to take some screenshots actually. Yay, Holopterus can be fairies in the forest. We should name the arrivals of the Europe Park. Well, we've named the Styxos. The Tencanthus, I don't think need naming. The Sinosauropteryx, do we really have to name all 6 Sinosauropteryx? Did we name all of the Oviraptors? Oh, we did. All right, okay. We'll name the Sinosauropteryx. Okay, so this is a male Sino. So give me some male names for the Sinosauropteryx. Chujin. Must find... There's another male. Shifu. King Julian. We've got to have a King Julian, haven't we? King Julian. Soroba. Kanako. We need one more female name. Mort. Mort is not a female name. Looking for water. There's water there. Look. All of it there. God, why do they have so much trouble? I don't think the Tencanthus need to be named, since they are mostly background animals. Oh, that's a screenshot opportunity there, though. Snap. And we'll snap another one. Yeah, the Sharko crew. We don't need the names of the crew. They're just the crew, aren't they? The staff. You don't name the staff. Can we get a... I kind of want to see if we can get a shot from like the ship's deck. That kind of works. I really like how this ship has come out in the end. I think it looks really good. Nice shot of Philip. You're going to think of a bunch more lore for the park. Well, I look forward to seeing what you come up with. I'm going to see if I can get some quick, good shots of the Sinosauropteryx. Not really, because they're so bloody small. I am going to get a good shot of the Sinosauropteryx orchard, though. He just looks surprised. They all look surprised. Now, these things, you can never... The smaller an animal is, the less good the camera system works, I feel. That was a good... Well timed, though. Fighting each other. There we go. He just looks pissed off. That was my feeling, Mr. Sinosauropteryx, when you guys refused to drink from a perfectly good drinking area. Anyway. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today and bearing with me while I've been ill this week. I will try to make sure that I put a video out next week for you guys. And yeah, I will see you probably on Sunday, but I might do a midweek stream for Subnautica. Until then, don't forget to like the stream. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And I will see you guys next time. Until then, wherever you are, stay safe and good night.